Good morning, welcome back to the channel. It seems like we might have had a little bit of breaking news. Last 24 hours or so, United's pursuit, or rumoured pursuit, of Matheus Cunha has moved from being a whisper to potential reality. Literally over this last few hours, there's loads of reports coming out, the likes of Romano, ESPN, Sky Sports, TalkSport, Chris Wheeler is coming out of it. It seems like Ben Jacobs is another one that's coming out of it. They're all aligned on a single point, that United are closing in on Matheus Cunha. 25-year-old, Brazilian forward, winger forward, number 10, fits that sort of wide forward angle that Amorim likes to play. He's got a £62.5 million release clause, and United are supposedly negotiating to see that not be activated, but do a deal which sees us paying it in instalments for a little bit higher. Now, that's something that we've done in the past. I think we did that with Xerxes, so that seems to be like a bit of a club MO at the moment. Now, this isn't paper talk. Supposedly, Amorim himself is a huge admirer, and there's even been some direct interactions. Cunha and Amorim reportedly seen deep in conversation after the match, both at Molineux and at Old Trafford. And it feeds a fire that's already blazing with speculation. Amorim sees him as that versatile, high-energy attacker with quality, someone who could be a central figure in the rebuild at United. But why Cunha, and why now? Well, let's start with the output. He's got 14 goals and 4 assists for Wolves, which is solid numbers in the league regardless, but it's also very solid in the Wolves side that been pretty shit, I think it's fair to say. They don't consistently create loads of big chances. He's made goals out of tight spaces. He's pressured defenders into mistakes quite a lot, actually, as well. And he's stepped up in the big moments for him. That's the sort of player that you're going to want at United. Even if we're riding high, which I don't expect us to do at the start of next season anyway, you're going to want players who can just create out of nothing. He can play right across the forward line, centrally, off the left, even play a little bit deeper. And that flexibility is absolutely crucial for Amorim's system. You know, it doesn't really rigidly define attackers as even 9s or 10s, to be honest. It's very much a grey area. And I think Cunha thrives in that grey area. He plays between the lines. He plays wide of a striker. He plays in the middle. He comes and drops and links play. I think you'd love him. I think it makes a lot of sense like that. Now, the 3-4-3 that Amorim deploys, or 3-4-2-1, very similar to what he's been operating in at Wolves. He would easily fit in as either the second striker or inside forward or wide 10s. You know, we're going to have to come up with something that we can stick to as a name for this, aren't we? But, you know, he presses intensely. He has a quick first step. He doesn't need 10 touches to influence the game. He moves fast. And I think Cunha floating in behind a striker, because I still think we have to go and get a striker, and there's still a lot of talk of Liam Delap. And if you have, say, Ahmad on the far side stretching it off to the right, you have Bruno played slightly deeper, you start to see the emergence of a pretty vertical, aggressive attacking structure, not too dissimilar to what we saw Amorim building at Sporting. Now, Cunha isn't just about shape as well. His defensive work rate is huge. He's in the 96th percentile for tackles. He's in the 99th percentile for interceptions. He presses like a madman. It suits Amorim. You know, if he wants a forward line to be the first line of defence, he's going to have that, and he's going to see him countered with venom. Now, stats-wise, his non-penalty goals is in the 96th percentile. His shots per 90 is in the 89th percentile. Expected assists is in the 96th percentile. Progressive carries is in the 98th percentile. Like, he is elite. Defensive contributions, 96th to 98th percentile. He's in 88th percentile for blocks. Like, he is ridiculous. There are some weaknesses. His passing isn't the greatest. He is definitely more of a goal scorer than a creator. And weirdly, for someone who plays in the position that he plays with, he's quite low down in the percentage or the percentile for progressive passes received. That's quite interesting. I think that's probably because he's coming a lot shorter to get stuff, and he'll often be looking at lateral passing rather than him getting on the end of through balls. But either way, he's not there to play safe passes. He is there to act as probably a bit more of a target. He's going to take risks, he's going to press, and he's going to score. And when you look at this Manchester United side at the moment, we do not and cannot score goals. So I think that's a real positive signing. And do you know what I like about him as well? I miss the days when Manchester United did used to go to the Premier League. Now, it's not cost effective to do it all the time at the moment. It's just not. But I do miss the time when Manchester United went to players in the Premier League, because you know that they're going to settle in and they're going to be sound. You know, I think wages-wise, he's going to obviously get a significant rise on his wages. I don't think it's going to be in the eye-watering category. It makes sense. I like it. He could be one of the first in, but according to, Wheeler's reports especially, United are still looking at the likes of Victor Osimhen. We're still looking at the likes of Benjamin Sesko. Xavi Simons is still being linked. Eze is still being linked. Semenyo is still being linked. There's still talk about Delap. And even Enzo Canyabic. It's the 18-year-old that's out of contract this summer. Probably more of a long-term project rather than someone that's going to start immediately. But it looks like, whilst Cunha probably ends up being the now signing that's ready to go and is going to go straight in, it looks like United are about to start getting real busy in the transfer market. And by Christ, do we need to? So I like Cunha as a signing. I don't think he's a traditional superstar. I don't think he's the name like a Haaland or a Kane or an Osimhen. But I think in terms of someone that fits the plan, that fits the system, he's perfect. You know, he's aggressive, he is versatile, he's press ready, he's physical, statistically productive in the Premier League, in a shit team. This isn't someone that you're getting from a team that's just got all of the ball all of the time and wins games at a canter. No, he's scoring goals that have been impactful in terms of points that Wolves have achieved. Probably kept them up. Under Amorim, United are trying to become a system team. Less vibes, more structure. I think signing Cunha is a clear message that they're backing the manager, they're backing the manager's vision, they're not chasing commercial headlines, they're bringing in players because they're going to help him achieve the things that he needs to achieve. And if that's just the beginning of the rebuild, mistakes will happen, but I feel like they're going into it trying to do the right thing. Like there's a plan, and that's a huge positive. And I think that's how you should sort of approach any sort of transfer window, is have a plan and back the guy's vision that you've put in charge. Either way, I like that. I do like that. I think that if that's the first signing, I think it's, for me, he's a big enough name because he's good enough as a player. He's a great age, and I think that's it's a lot of money. But I think everyone's a lot of money nowadays, so I don't think that's a massive issue. Either way, listen, I'm excited. I think he makes sense, but I want to hear what you guys are saying from your opinions on this down below. Is Cunha a step in the right direction? Surely it's a yes. Surely it's a yes. Does anyone disagree that he's the right move? Please let me know if you do in the comments below. Laters.